All right, let's get back to work. The most obvious source of UAPs is human beings that have invented wormholes with the colliders, the boson collider things, and then using technology that the mass public is not ready for yet to manipulate their political, social, economic, genocidal positions. That's the most obvious solution. Since we put cameras out in space and we don't see all these big inventions to warp through space, but we do have obvious evidence that people are capable of putting together inventions that would give us antimatter and wormholes and plenty of places to strategically place them to maintain their political, social agendas through genocidal operations. And we have plenty of evidence to show that we are still in the process of genocidal operations. Ukraine and Russia, mass decreasing of the population in China, quote unquote pandemics caused by immense toxins in the environment due to irrational economic and genocidal activities accepted by a large, insane populace that refuses to believe in a living Messiah, refuses to believe in the commands of the messiahs of the past, refuses to believe they will work applied in physics, Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's definitely not me. Let's live the Lord's Prayer and see what happens. We haven't done that globally. No, we have a few pockets where they did it, and it went real great according to the history books, and then it disappeared. And now we're doing all this fucked up shit because of you assholes, right? You don't believe I'm the Messiah? That's because you're an asshole. Okay. He calls demons by name and they flee from him. Right? Okay. Now there could be, given what I experienced in Sierra Vista and the talks I had in my head, but they say I'm a Asperger's and savant and have forms of schizophrenia according to all the experts. It's like, okay, my Long Island medium does this and tells people bullshit about dead people that were once in their life, and everybody gives her lots of money, right? Lots of psychics do this and tell people bullshit that they want to hear about dead people no longer in their life, and they go on TV, sell lots of products held hostage by demons and get paid money by idiots, right? I get online and say things like, no, here's what they said. Oh, how dare you say that? It's the truth. Why? That's what I get when I talk to them. When I talk to Regina King's son, I don't kiss her ass and say he said all this stuff. I said he was sick of it and he hated that. He loves you. He completely loves you, but he hates the world you're in, and he doesn't know why you still want to stay in it and participate in it. He doesn't want to participate in it, so he killed himself. Okay. I'm like, wow, that's hard. And if I would have known who the kid was before he committed suicide, I might have been able to help him in prayer. Right? That happens with me with a lot of people. If I would have known who they were before they died, I would have, could have helped them through. Or if they would listen to me. Most of them don't listen to me. He's crazy. He thinks he's God. I think I'm God. No, they pray to a cartoon character in their head from a corporation where the guy says, hey, if you're going to use technology for genocide, make sure you use diplomacy before you start killing each other. What's diplomacy before we start killing each other? Make sure you discuss business deals that are acceptable to both parties that are willing to murder each other over money. Wow. How ancient of you. You're not the Medina Charter. You're not the New Testament. You're not the, hell, you're not even Joseph or any of those guys in the Old Testament either. Daniel, He's supposed to represent Christ on earth. Can you imagine Joseph telling Pharaoh, oh, instead of storing the grain and feeding these people, just mass murder them all so you won't have to, and then there'll be more food for all of you. Ah, I, Joseph the Messiah, support this message. Okay. That's how you should use all your technology and your invention. Get the horses and get the chariots and get all the spears and stuff and mass murder all the people you need to feed that you say you love. Okay? That you are divine, you are sovereign over them from the divinity from the sky. When Norman Greenbaum and the satellites, right? Shit. It's horrible, right? Just listening to those people talk, really? Still talk in front of people? Like what happened to Krishnamurti in 85 at the UN, We're celebrating 25 years ago. The Pope got together with all the rich guys and said they're going to stop mass murdering the poor over money. Okay, guys, we have the Vietnam War and all that. Okay, why are we celebrating this? It didn't work. It didn't take, right? That's what Krishnamurti's saying, right? We're celebrating that this guy got together after World War II with all the mass murderers and said we're going to stop doing it. And it didn't happen. And so why are we celebrating this? Is what Jiddu Krishnamurti kept saying. And the papacy had Krishnamurti brought in because he was the great world teacher that lots of people respected and thought, people should listen to this guy. We would probably have world peace. Right? So Krishnamurti says, yeah, you should probably listen to me. Go home and rethink your life and stop listening to these multi-millionaires and billionaires saying they're going to stop murdering poor people to maintain their millionaires and billionaires, and just stop doing it. It's wrong. Okay. And then this lady sits there and goes, I didn't want to hear this. She says, what do you want me to say to you? You want me to say to you, it's working. It's not working, right? And then one kid asked him, and he goes, well, since we're evolution, and eventually we'll evolve to where we don't do it. And Krishnamurti asked him, goes, are we evolving to where we don't do it? We seem to be getting worse than better. Okay. They find more ways to destroy the environment, okay, that are more hideous and disgusting after World War II, when they used the nuclear weapons to say, well, let's not do that again. Let's try Agent Orange. Let's try stuff that will just temporarily destroy the ecosystem. Mass murder all the humans and then come and restore the ecosystem as prime real estate. That's what they did in Vietnam. Okay. How COVID-19 of you? I know. How hantavirus of us, how Ebola of us. I get it. I understand. I'm not insane. I dropped out of school and I didn't like science and math classes at school because I'm intelligent, not because I wasn't competitive and sadistic and sinister and cunning enough to outmaneuver all the assholes that have Teslas and robots, right? Fuck. I said it. Okay. I'll say it again. Right, so I might say fuck a lot more until I correct their technology through being the focal point of faithful prayer of a living person who's not plugged into a computer. Okay. And if the U.S. military and their surveillance network has designs of depressing me to death and killing me, and then taking a child like me and plugging that child into a computer and turning me into Spock's brain, you're not going to get the proper results with the technology, okay, that you need to save yourself from your enemies that will mass murder you to have Spock's brain, right? It's not going to work. Because how do you take a person from the time they're a baby and plug them into a computer that has a virtual presence in everyone's home like David Rockefeller and Philip Rothschild, and have them behave like me, the person that doesn't have a virtual presence in everyone's home, and people talk to them in prayer and say, yelp, yelp, Lord Jesus, save us all. It's Earl. It's not Jesus, it's Earl. It says in the book of Revelation, they call him Lord. He looks like Jesus in the portraits of the old, John and Jesus and the old Orthodox portraits and stuff everywhere, but they call him Earl, and his dad's name is Ralph, and his mom's name is Mary, and he's got the nephews Gabe and Mike there that are participating in the Gospels, but refuse to fully participate because of the brain damage from the Spock's brain. Same with the prophecy about the spirit of Muhammad and Abraham through the Quran, who's my nephew, Isaac Paul Benegas, which there's overwhelming evidence. Me and Isaac Paul Benegas have more overwhelming evidence still available and still debated on a daily basis by mass murdering corporations about our existence, our lives, and all kinds of information. It's pretty much him. It's got to be those two. It's got to be Earl and his nephew. Yeah, it's got to be. Well, there's a lot of evidence there, especially those two crazy kids from Deming. Yeah, they're good kids. I love them. They're in the cave. It's the Sir of the Cave. The Sir of the Cave, in many ways, is almost unrecognizable in perception of reality because they didn't understand what they were writing down because we didn't have satellites and drones and robots and cell phones and stuff when they were writing down what was being discussed. Muhammad didn't want to write it down because it may not be necessary if they just keep on living the Lord's Prayer, and when they're in Spain, where the rain falls mainly on the plain, they're not living insane because they didn't write it down as a sociopath genocide novel like the Vatican did. And that was Muhammad's goal. He knew he wasn't going to meet that goal. It says so in the Quran before every surah, but he had to attempt. And then that way you would know who the murdering liars were and who's the descendants of Abu Lahab and who the real Messiah is. Hi, 1, 2, 3 view, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 12. Do not, guys, get lots of help when you put up a metal roof, okay, and have it put on, because it is literally like ice skating on roller skates at a 30-degree angle. I really would advise, Dad's really sharp. He's sharp when it comes to working on that stuff. We got a 2x6 and put 1x4s, on it, strategically placed all on that, screwed them into the 2x6, and then put them up, and then that way I could pull the metal sheets up and hold them into place where we put them up evenly, and then he could get up, help position it, and then I could screw it into place. That's how we did it. Instead of having, Patrick and Noah and Natalie and, just having all the help from all the loving, sweethearts in our family that, we're supposed to have when we're like Father Abraham and David and Joseph and Daniel and ringing in the sheaves. When you're a righteous person who protects people from debt and trespass, and, me sitting there telling Natalie, I was once going through puberty, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvahing too, and I felt just like you pervert. There's nothing wrong with having sexual feelings and wanting to have sex with people that are nice to you and you might think about having babies with a lot. There's lots of songs about it for make-believe money because we're stupid. And I'm not a pervert, but what are you saying? Smokey Robinson's a pervert? No, his mom just had bad training. It's just bad teaching. It's just, when banks try to teach religion, it just doesn't work. You can, the whole thing with Jesus, you can't serve more than one master, you'll despise one another. And so if you accept banking and prostitution and everybody wants to fuck me, no one wants to fuck you, so God loves me better, that's basically, yeah. And since I'm the best circus gimmick in the history of circus gimmicks, Circus Maximus and the Coliseum, God loves me better. It's like, that's bullshit, because I was better than all of you. Still am. I'm a better coach than all the coaches. Yeah. Why? Well, because it's for exercise to be healthy, Dr. Naismith. Yeah, just to keep you from catching pneumonia in the wintertime. That's what basketball's for. It's not to beat the hell out of each other for money and then beat the hell out of each other because you couldn't win the last game of the year because you got ego problems. He's got a beard like a billy goat. Hey, Stanford Steve, what do you think the bets are on who would win the fight in the locker room? Oh, go shave your head. Shave your head. Right? So, apparently the family prayer doesn't work well. So just shave your head or your hair will fall out. Yeah, Yeah, people that have patterns of baldness in their family. You know, Daddy Warbucks, Otto Preminger, so on and so forth. They've learned to accept lies they tell themselves time after time. Time after time. I like Ella Fitzgerald too. I love Ella Fitzgerald, but I like her songs a lot. You know what I mean? Reno's me and Ella. I think we've already connected in prayer. I've used tested and tasked it to take care of myself. And I also have used Let's Do It Again by the, yeah, so if you talk to Mavis Staples, she might tell you stories about the, like, what's the lady's name who I adore so much? Reminds me of Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman reminds me of her. Gosh dang it, this is horrible. Harriet Tubman. I love Harriet Tubman. I adore Harriet Tubman. I know Tracy Chapman does too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how closely related they are, but she sure does remind me a lot of her. Yeah, I have the same things about. I don't think that way because she's homosexual and she's never showed any things like my ex-wife's to go, I'd rather be with you, Aladdin. So I've never, had that cross my mind. Oh, I thought she's got a nice body. She's really cute. And yeah, and old Rodney, she looked like a pickaninny. It's like she's a folk singer. She's not supposed to look like Shirley Murdoch. I always defend. When I'd make fun of him, because I liked her, and she was black girl and she wasn't singing black people stuff. And it's like, yeah, but this stuff's amazing. She's a wonderful songwriter. John Denver and Jim Croce ain't got nothing on old Miss Tracy there. Shit. Yeah, so I was born to fight, ain't been knocked down yet, right? Yeah, people. Yeah, she's a lot like them. She grew up on Bob Dylan, Jody Baez, and Joni Mitchell and all them. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke loved. Thought Sam Cooke said it should have been a black man that wrote. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. He recorded it. Said, man, a black guy wrote. One of us should have wrote this instead of the white dude making lots of money off of this. For he can hear people cry. I mean, dude, that's what Sam Cooke said. So why didn't one of us black folks write this song? I mean, this guy gets it. This hurts. This is hard. Well, it's from the Bible, I'm just a voice howling in the wilderness. Right? John, the greatest prophet in all of Israel. Right? I'm a voice howling in the wilderness, like Elijah. Hey, you get all these people that monitored me and spied on me and watched me. There's no way this guy can be the Messiah or be a holy man. You hear that, Elijah? Jeremiah, Lot? Your wife's screwing around on you with all the people in Las Vegas. There's no way you can be the Messiah, Amos. Jesus, no, you didn't have any trials and tribulations, and the woman that loved you wasn't forced to be a prostitute because she didn't accept arranged marriage before you came up and stood for her publicly and protected her from hypocrites trying to kill her with their hypocrisy. Did you hear that, Jesus? Dang, Jesus. You suck at doing the Gospels, Jesus. Why, if they were spying on you from the time they were spying on him from the time it's in the Bible. Same with David. They're always spying on him. They say it's him. Spy on him, see what's happening. Saul was spying on David and watching him do what he did in the fields, tending the sheep all by himself at 12 years old, because to see if he was for real. Why do you think Jonathan was so, my dad's an asshole? That 12-year-old sat there and walked up to a bear without fear to save all the sheep for his family and hit it with a club and scared it away. I don't know if I could have done that. He got so good with the slingshot that he could take on a pack of wolves all by himself without fear and run them off and save one time he lost the ram or something like that, and then his brothers got all upset because David didn't get in trouble. They did because they were older and should have been out there with them according to social convention, even though Jesse, the stepdad, sent him out there, when it happened, and David didn't get killed because he was thought he was, basically the whole plan was to send him out here and say, okay, that kid thinks he's badass. Let's see if he can do this all by himself. Hey, how patchy of him. I know. How Tishna of him. How Cochise of him. I totally agree. All by myself. Don't want to be, never gonna fall in love again. Please go all the way. The Lord's Prayer so right. So we've got this. Trust me, I am fixing quantum computing globally. And artificial general intelligence is not going to be able to be used to turn people like me into Spock's brain anymore, which has been happening in Korea since they said the 1950s or 60s, according to what they told me in Sierra Vista. I didn't watch any videos on it. They just kind of, that sounds perfectly horrible. So little jealous fucks take a beautiful person, plug them into a computer to try to mass manipulate the masses, It's not to keep them docile. It's to make them rational and sane and not do insane things. So, the sane and rational people will connect with that virtual connection. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. We all die. Empathy and respect. All think about it. Don't play games with it, you billionaire. If it's right, do it. Is it right? Then do it. Right? You see why Judas Krishnamurti had lots of prophecy about his life, and then he was the real deal. But people sit there and go, well, I think what he was saying is that neurosurgeons are brilliant, that they'll saw up people's heads, put their brains back together so they can go back to work in the salt mine selling meat on pieces of plastic with chemicals in it to maintain its shelf life so they can make more money off of selling it to more people that will die from the chemicals. Yeah, Tom, that's exactly what Judas Krishnamurti was saying, that neurosurgeons are more intelligent and have more skill than Judas Krishnamurti to protect people and save lives from genocide. That's exactly what Krishnamurti was saying. And Suzuki was right there going, hey, get your sword out and cut their head off if they don't agree with you, and buy your meat products in plastic with chemicals. Held hostage under refrigeration. Driven around in big trucks. Lots of log trucks. Hey, vote for that guy to be the head of Nevada. He's honest and has integrity. Okay. Parumph. Earl. Hey, Tupac, I love you too, baby boy. I love you too. I love Tupac. Anybody else love Tupac Shakur? I don't think any of you love Tupac Shakur as much as I love Tupac Shakur. I think you're trying. But you did your best, but your guess wasn't good enough. I think it's the Wi-Fi from my cell phone. Maybe we should bring down the cell phone towers. If they're only used to take away the hours of living the Lord's Prayer and loving one another and holy covenants. Just once. Can we find the way to get lots of money to feed kids that are being mass murdered and put a show on it on TV instead of live the Lord's Prayer and build some greenhouses and restore the ecosystem, not the economy? Wow. I know we could get to it. If we could just get to it just once. I want to understand why you guys are so insane and say Jesus and then I answer the prayer and put your name online and you don't even reply. Why don't you like, share, and subscribe? I don't make any money. I don't have people that perform genocide through science projects on my on a table in front of me making a podcast to make more money and be a million bestseller of a book that everybody reads and says this is just divinely inspired by the hand of God. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Pinocchio. Hey, Pluto. Hey, that's a planet. Yeah, it's a planet. This should scare the shit out of you. What should scare the shit out of you is that you're stupid enough to be distracted by mass murderers that invented money to make you think you need it to live here. That should scare the shit out of you, dumbass. That's even scarier than Jack Palance pretending to be somebody that will come with fangs and suck your blood out through your arteries. Yeah. Running up that hill, nope, if I only could make a deal with God and I'd get him to swap our places. Running up that hill, no problem, right? I'm Jim Carrey's cousin. It's me, Jimmy, early, I've come home now, so cold, let me in your window. I swear I'll paint pictures of Donald Trump throwing a tantrum for $1 million if you do not stand up for the Lord's Prayer of me. Let me tell you something. A little extra cheese on the taco. Where's my Irene? I don't want an Irene. I just want to love and be loved in return. I want my body to recover immediately and rapidly. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Eureka and have Patrick come live next to me. Like he said, Dad, we're going to get a place by the ocean. He said Seattle. I said, son, let's go to Eureka. They got redwoods. You'll like the redwood forest. You ain't never been there and you ain't never really seen it on TV, but you'd like it. Maybe you should watch that old movie with Kirk Douglas there, Catherine Zeta-Jones' daddy-in-law, through ink stains that are dried upon some line and forgotten words and funds. No, they never forget the funds. That's right, they never forget the funds. Only people that don't care about the funds forget about the funds. What about the words? They always forget about the words. Why? I think it's because of the funds. Me too. Must be the money. Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins. Okay, dead people on pieces of paper and rocks. Rocks. I forgot about the rocks. Yeah, fuck, they're crazy. I don't know. I've known this for a long time. Well, ever since they thought lightning bolts would come out of my ass to save the world. Put him up in the sky and lightning bolts would come out of his ass, and then I will create storms over Texas and New Mexico and kill children while you guys are using children to make money off of recreation. That's horrible. I know. Why doesn't Brian Kennedy explain this to us? He speaks 5 different languages and makes sure that espionage doesn't get people killed because of economic conflict in El Paso. That's why he ran for governor of El Paso, because he's a fucking genius, right? I'm not a genius. I don't do shit like that. And I don't speak 5 different languages, and I won't use it to interrogate people that are being manipulated by the CIA. And then people think, well, he's just not a genius. Guys, how many people do I talk to in prayer that don't speak my language, but I can translate what they say because I'm a perfect lover that has courage of kindness, is not afraid of espionage or the CIA, FBI, or Gemini Man, or the people that invent Gemini Man. Whoa, not afraid of robots either. They kill you, you're dead. Hi, I'm a sniper for the military. Yeah, he's a goddamn genius. Okay. He's going to win the hot dog eating contest and then do commercials for Bibberty. Get into a pissing contest with a kid who's trained by the TV to say Liberty instead of Bibberty. Yeah. No speech impediment there, right? I like speech impediments. They're cute. I like Yabbert. I like Clock Click Clip. Uh-huh. I like Crinkle Bells. I like Cluties. I like Malaki But Ma. But that's just our word. You can't use that. No. That's mine and Natalie's. Yeah. Because we need intimacy and privacy because we love each other and we've loved each other for a long time. And we need to be able to give each other a hug without people watching and judging us, hugging each other and kissing each other on the forehead. I don't want to be anointed with oils, Natty. I don't like hot oils. And we already discussed that with me about, Teddy Pendergrass songs. Okay. No. I did use her mom liked baby oils when you gave her massages. But people should not know about that. That should be private, like singing Al Green in the bedroom at the Obama house, right? So in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. Let me be the one you come running to. That's a good tune, isn't it? Yeah. That's a good. Let's stay together. Loving you, whether, and then have grandkids and great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids, and then one day we'll die on a hill at a grave side by side on a hill where robins sing, and they say violets grow there all year long because our hearts were made of spring. Well, I bet you that's more tangible and viable if we're living the Lord's Prayer and not building big monuments to genocidal insanity and metroplexes. Yeah, is that Lakeshore Drive? Yes, it is. I like Freddie Freeloader too. Yeah, the song, not the actual applied physics of it. Right, there you go. Well, I'm just helping out Barack Obama. Nobody loves Barack Obama more than I love Barack Obama. Well, even his own family, his own daughters and his own wife and his own brother-in-law can't love, and his mother-in-law can't love Barack Obama as much as I love Barack Obama. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer that will do it without fear and never stop doing it because I love him and want him to live the Lord's Prayer. I love his mom. I love Stanley Ann. See my Stanley Ann walking away with Mary Ann and Abraham Martin and John and Dion over there. But that doesn't mean and Dion Ferris too. I know what you do and yeah, but no one loves Barack Obama as much as I love Barack Obama. No one loves Stephen Colbert who could forgive people and just say, hey, it's okay, I forgive you. Let's just stand up for a Lord's Prayer again today. I mean, no one can love Ashley Hayes and Kirk Cameron and James Cameron more than me. I'll forgive you not for standing up for the living word in the Lord's Prayer yesterday. And I'll forgive you today. And I'll love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. No, cuckoo-ipo. Yeah, well, life's eternal and grace is infinite. Lord's Prayer is perfect, and I'm living embodiment of it. No one can love you more than I love you. but you stand up for me with the Lord's Prayer today, then you can love everybody as much as me. Hi, I'm the Lord. Okay? Have faith in God like me. Don't call me God. I'll kick you right in the ding-ding. Or the vajayjay, whichever you ask for money for. Okay. Either Richard Gere or Car Shield, right? You're funny. I know. You think Matilde will marry me? There's more to life than being really, really ridiculously good looking? You want me to grow back the billy goat thing? You think I'm James Harden and going to try to beat up the Mitchell kid in the locker room? Because, damn it, we lost by 40 points, damn it. You guys just weren't playing very good, right? Don't worry about it. It's just a recreation for money to fuck. It's, it's not a front page story. Won't ever make the headlines. Well, because, you just don't sell enough cars and you can't build enough robots to be the front page story and the headliner. I challenge you to a game of horseshoes. Here, buy me some shoes. I'll give you some knowledge. Okay. The money's not real. Just, do like Jesus and Timothy in the Bible. Somebody stole my coat. Here, you won't have one. Aha, we're not living the wisdom of Solomon, are we? You go figure. Share, care, giving according to need, built to last. Boy, these Romans sure are civilized, aren't they? Being intelligent. It's really not that hard. Okay? Being indoctrinated for institutionalization for a lifetime of incarceration and passing on that eternal wretchedness, that takes Pascal's triangle and gives it eternal wretchedness. Wow, you can do math and you can read, right? You don't need money to pay for your dictation and legislation for New Mexico State University. Go Aggies. Maybe it's that keg of booze thing. I think it's the whole keg of booze thing. Yeah, it might be the brain damage from the booze with pickling the liver and then going to a hospital and say, he died early from complications from life. It wasn't life, it was lie. Okay? Just eliminate the F. Stop fucking, and you won't die from lie. Live Lord's Prayer, put the F back from fuck to life, and you no longer lie, you life. Okay, there's light. I am the light, truth. Okay, way to peace and truth. Love you. And if you don't believe that, you're just an asshole who wants to debate comic books because you want to be better than me, because you want to be Superman or Shazam. Stop being an asshole, Aquaman and Aquawoman and whatever. I can breathe underwater. It's my superpower. Oh. And then you can do concerts for money and then pay people's bills that don't exist. Right. You're a superhero. What a celebrity. You're a damn icon. Hey, go vote for the governor of Nevada. Yeah. Parumph, parumph, parumph. I didn't get a parumph out of you. Watch your parumph. Okay, guys, I love you. Hadley. It's Hadley Romar. It's Hadley. I can't remember. It was funny, though. Yeah. She got really mad. Okay, guys, piss off. I mean, I love you. But one or the other. You want to live the Lord's Prayer? I love you. You don't want to live the Lord's Prayer? Piss off. Still love you. Life's still eternal and grace is still infinite. Okay, hang in there. If you're a good person. If you're not a good person, you're already hanging in there. Yeah, how Judas of you. I love you. All right, peace out.